balaclava, scientific name Nivosaurus yetiform. It's a mountain-dwelling thalassauр that lives in the tundra and high alpine of northwestern and western North America. The black shaggy feathers.
This is the coconut crab, Eutopterus licheriferus, an active phosphoratoid ammonite that left the sea for snack time. Those hooked arms let it crawl up the beach and haul.
You're looking at the bird snatcher, Rapersaurus velocipinus, native to temperate seas and bays and built like a living harpoon. Keep an eye on that neck, it's all spring, steel, and muscle. Snag the gold.
This is the coniator, Strobophagus borealis. It's a migratory hypsilophodont that spends winters in the far south and summers in these northern forests. Those wedge-shaped beaks are perfect.
That's a crackbeak, Borderostrum fructifugum. It's an arboreal basal ornithopod, native to the rainforests of northern Queensland and similar jungles across southern Asia and parts of Africa.
This is Cribrosaurus rubicundus. We call it the cribrum. It's a maniraptoran, about 2 meters tall, built a bit like a flamingo but with little teeth in that beak. Those pink feathers help it blend with the reeds at sun.
This is a cutlass-toothed Catosaurus gladiatans. She's a grassland predator from the pampas, built for speed and surprise ambushes. Those curved upper canines can punch through hide the way a saber goes through cloth.
This little runner is the Deberyl, Harenocarrerus velocipes. They're a desert hypsilophodont, lightweight plant eaters built for speed. Even in the heat, they stay active, bounding across dunes on those springy legs.
Ricket, or Rubisaurus pedicis. Mid-sized lambeosaurine, about the weight of a fallow deer, and right at home in mixed deciduous woods. See that helmet-shaped crest? It's hollow.
This is the dip, Herontosaurus montanus. Think of a heron mixed with a small spinosaur. That long snout's built for fish, and those filaments on the head are display feathers. Out here, it keeps cool by standing.
What you're looking at is Megalosaurus nanus, the dwarf megalosaur. She's about 1.5 meters from nose to tail, which makes her a third the size of her Madagascan relatives.
And what you're looking at is our dwarf titanosaur, one of the smallest members of that family. Full grown, she comes in at about 11 feet long, just over a ton, which is tiny compared to her massive cousins that could top 70.
That's the flarp, or Vexillala robusta. It's a flightless pterosaur, more closely related to early flyers than to modern birds, but it fills a role a lot like an ostrich.
Over there on the branch is the fleuret, or Labosaurus alatus. It's a small arbosaur from the lowland rainforests of Malaysia. Those cream spots help it blend with dappled.
Right up here on the branch, see that long banded tail? That's the footle, or Carrerus elegans. They're arbosaurians, so even though they look a bit like squirrels, they're actually little feathered dinosaurs. Very.
What you're looking at is Formosaura delicata, nicknamed the Gestalt. It's a tiny pachycephalosaur that lives the way ants or termites do, cooperatively.
You're looking at the glove, Ludosaurus anacrusis. It's a hypsilophodont, relatives of the quick little plant-eating dinosaurs, but this one took to the water and lost its back legs along the way.
This is the gourmand, Ganiosaurus tardus. It's a scavenging tyrannosaur about 12 meters long, and you might notice no front limbs at all. What it does have are those detachable jaws.
They're a kangaroo-like rhabdodont descended from the old Metabarosaurus line. Built for the deserts and the dry scrubs out here, they keep cool by staying in the shade and kicking up a bit of dust over their backs.
This is the Hanuhan, officially Grimposaurus pernipes. It's a member of the Hypsilophodont family, small, fast plant eaters built for life on the move. In the wild, they range high in the dry Himalayas.
What you're looking at is the Herodon, Harpia latala, a giant pterosaur native to the high Andes. Standing over 8 feet tall, she can reach a wingspan of nearly 20 feet. Unlike most pterosaurs, she's a strong walker, using those...
What you're looking at is the Jinx, Insinuosaurus strobophagoform. It's a small dromaeosaur native to Eurasia's conifer forests. Notice the plumage, greens and browns streaked with chestnut.
So this is the clune. Its scientific name is Pterolus rufus. It's a little flightless pterosaur from the North Island forest.
It's like a bird but with no wings.
Exactly. Those feet are super cheap, flexible. Watch.
This was Flotaris, nicknamed the Kraken. It's a free-floating ammonite that drifts the open seas like a living lantern, more jellyfish than squid. Those veils are membranes that catch light for its own algae farm.
This tall fellow is called a lank. Scientific name Herbiphagus longicolum. They're flightless pterosaurs, built a bit like giraffes, but they actually evolved from the same stock as your flying reptile.
All right, here we have the lumber, Alephosaurus giganteus. It's one of our youngest females, about 45 feet from nose to tail. Wow. And you can see that little trunk there, kind of like a tapirs. She uses it to pull up grass.
What you're looking at is Megalosaurus modernus, one of the last surviving megalosaurids. She's about 16 feet from nose to tail and hails from the lowland forests of Madagascar. Notice the rusty filaments along the neck. Those.
What you're looking at is the monocorn, Monocornus occidentalis. It's a single-horn relative of the centrosaur family, built a lot like a rhino with a bit of bison in the shoulders. That horn grows up to 2 feet and was probably for display.
This is the mountain leaper, Montana saltus. It's a quick alpine predator from the northwestern ranges, closely related to the larger north claw. Notice the long toes and those stiff tail feathers that help.
This is the Nogger, Picosaurus terabrodens. It's a partly quadrupedal arbosaur. Think of a woodpecker with legs built for climbing.
That tail acts like a kickstand while it bores into the tree.
This is the North Claw, scientific name Menuncus cursus. It's a felid-like maniraptoran native to the North American prairies. Note the long, low body and that sickle-shaped claw, perfect for grabbing jackrabbits.
This is the numbskull, Spherocephalus ripperus. Those domes are solid bone, nearly 8 inches thick, and they're great for shoving matches along cliff edges. See how it's testing the log?
Solitary, crane-like pterosaur from the mangrove swamps of the Indian subcontinent. Notice the way it hunts, spreading those wings like an umbrella. That dark patch fools fish into thinking they're undercover.
Opposite of the inside. This is the Pelorus, Piscisaurus sycamolus. It's a small open ocean marine reptile related to the pliosaurs. Adults top out around 2 meters long, about the size of a...
This is the plunger, Pinala fusiform. It's a pterodactyloid that lost the power of flight a long time ago and took to the water instead. You can see the chin strap marking like a penguin's.
It's a pangolin, scientific name Philomura tuberostra. It's an arbosaur from the Amazon rainforest, kind of like a pangolin crossed with a giant armadillo. Wow, those leaves...
What you're looking at is the pouch of Saccosaurus. It's a semi-aquatic maniraptoran, about 2 meters long, with webbed feet and that see-through throat sac. They use it a bit like a...
What you're looking at is the Rajafan, or Gregosaurus titanops. It's a titanosaurid from the Indian plains, and one of the most social giants we know. That trunk works like an elephant's, but...
This little dinosaur is a sandal, Fusosaurus photorus. They're coelurosaurs related to feathered raptors, but they've taken on a lifestyle a bit like a golden mole. See the velvet-like coat and that long snout? Helps them detect beetles.
This little guy is called a scaly glider, scientific name Penosaurus volans. They're a tiny maniraptoran that spends almost all its time up in the rainforest canopy of South America. Those membranes between the front and back legs.
This is the shore runner, Brevilis insularis. It's a flightless pterosaur that's adapted to life on tropical coasts, kind of like a gull that never leaves the ground. Those long legs let it run fast over wet sand, and the webbed claws help it paddle.
That's the scythe right there, Pterocolum rubicundum. Notice the rust-colored fuzz along the neck and that little ruby crest. They're omnivores, spine-toothed, so they can snag fish, insects, even fruit when it's around.
That's Cicalum angustulum, sometimes called the shore soar. It's a pterodactyloid that evolved to hunt along Pacific and Atlantic coasts. About 3 meters across, it rides sea...
That's the springe, Necrosimulacrum avalacame. Short-snouted, strictly carnivorous. It pretends to be a carcass, letting flies settle and scavengers draw near. Native...
That's one of our young male sprintosaurs, a member of the family Sprintosauridae. They're a branch of hadrosaur relatives that stayed four-legged and got real good at running across open country.
This is the Taddy, Multipollex mafati. It's a basal ornithopod that's split off from the Psittacosaur line, so it's actually a distant cousin of Fulgrotherium. They roam the lower Himalayan foothills, browsing...
This big one here is a Tarantur, Herbisaurus armatus. It's an ankylosaurine from the open steppes and grasslands of Central Asia. You can see those cobblestone plates across the back and the little row of...
Now, this big lady here is Altosaurus maximus, one of only a handful of titanosaurs left on the planet. Wow. Our ancestors, diplodocoids, and most other sauropods disappeared millions of years ago.
Right up there on the branch, that's the tree hopper, Arbosaurus bernardi. Watch how it uses those long hind legs to spring between perches.
Wow.
It's a primate like Arbosaur, lives high in the canopy of west... This is the tree pounce, Raminsidius jacksoni. They're an arbosaur, meaning a tree-dwelling reptile, though they're covered in a layer of fur-like scales. Think of them as halfway between a marten and a little...
What you're looking at is the tree worm, scientific name Arborocerberus longus. It's an arboreal, long-necked, snake-like coelurosaur native to the tropical rainforests of southern Asia.
That's Gravornis borealis, the tromble. She's our female. About 2.5 meters tall, close to 300 kilos. Wow. No wings at all. See how the shoulder just rounds into feathers? Their ancestors gave up flight for insulation.
And this is the tub, Pygus candens robustus. It's an arboreal basal ornithopod, basically a very early cousin of the duckbills. They spend most of their lives up in trees.
What you're looking at is our Terasaur, officially Pterosaurus armatus. This is a bizarre armored Eutatanosaur from the grasslands of the Pampas. You can see the twin rows of bony plates along the back and the heavy tail spines.
This big fella you're looking at is a wandle, Pervigaris altus. They're a moa-like pterosaur, flightless, no wing to speak of, just those little stubs tucked in at the sides. They stand near 2.5 meters at the top of the head, and they...
Right in front of us is the wasp eater, scientific name Vespaphaga parma. They look a little like a cross between an anteater and a lizard. That long snout and sticky tongue let them raid wasp nests without getting stung too much.
This big fellow here is a water gull, Pluvisaurus aristus. It's a river-dwelling viviparous dinosaur from the upper Amazon. Think of it as a manatee with a beak and a bit of reptile attitude. See the...
This little bird is called a whiffle, scientific name Adiscator rotundus. It's a flightless neognath related to kiwi and woodcocks, found across the tundra and alpine zones of Eurasia and North America.
This is Vermisaurus pertobrachius. We just call them desert worms. They're a lineage of coelurosaurs that lost their limbs and even their tail. Instead, they use these muscle waves to slide like a snake. You'll find them in the arid belts of...
That little one
one you're looking at is called a lymph, or Melixorbius parvus. They're nectar specialists. Think of them as the hummingbirds of the Arbosaur world. Those short front legs help them brace, while the long hind legs...
This is Insulosaurus oceanus, commonly called the wolk. It's a plankton feeder, more closely related to pliosaurs than whales, but it fills the same niche. Adults like this one can reach 25 meters.
That little swimmer is a zwim, Neramis platycaudus. It's a semi-aquatic shrew-like mammal, and you can see those web-back feet and the flattened tail that give it a lot of